everyone, and welcome back to Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back on the Sony PlayStation 1. I am one Welsh Sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta start things off by going fast. We gotta go fast. We gotta race the clock, because otherwise, oh no! Basically, from the stage, from the get-go, we need to speed through and speed run this level. Because as you can tell, when we hit the first checkpoint, a time limit appears. Now, it doesn't show it, but this time limit is counting down from the moment the level starts. So you're going to want to go as fast as you physically can to reach the end. If you reach the end of the level by the time this time limit goes to 0, you will earn yourself a fantastic brand new gem, which you can use in order to, well, progress through the game and get the good ending. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are two endings to this game, as you would expect, and honestly, the 100% ending is the proper ending of the game. It's the ending that segues directly into the the third game of the series, and basically, yeah, we just need to collect all the gems so Brio can focus later in order to destroy Cortex's Cortex Vortex machine, which is, I believe it's like a mind control device. I could be absolutely wrong about that, but hey, with 3 seconds to spare, we've reached the end of this stage. Fantastic. And one of the things that are introduced in this particular level, well, at least this level type, is that we have a hoverboard thing we can use to go on water. Now, using that hoverboard device, we can press the circle button in order to boost forward, and we can collect a load of crates and what have you to help us on our merry way. And of course, I am killing myself a lot during this playthrough purely as a speedrunning tactic. If you miss things, killing yourself is a good way to return to the previous checkpoint to collect what you missed. And it's also a good way, if you skip the checkpoints, to return to the start of the stage if you need be, you know, folks. However, these checkpoints do count as boxes, so you will want to pick these up whenever possible, otherwise, well, you'll have trouble collecting the gems, you know, folks. Basically, the checkpoints are mandatory if you want to collect all the gems in the game. But anyway, I digress. This is yet another bonus stage, and these usually tend to be pretty easy. And whenever you go into these bonus levels, you don't really have any threat of death. You know, if you fall down the bottomless pit in these bonus levels, you don't lose any lives or anything. You just have the ability to start again. So these are nice chill-out rooms, I suppose, where they give you a tricky platforming sequence every now and then. But for the most part, well, that was stupid of me. For the most part, they're easy enough to go by, you know. However, when you've been in one of these one time and you've collected everything and make it back, you will not be able to return to the bonus rooms. So, if you want to return to a bonus room, you'll have to leave the stage once again. Anyway, these platforms by here, this is a gem platform. Now, because we collected the first blue gem, the first color gem of the game in the very first level, this gem is now available to us. And basically, this gem platform is available to us. And this will allow us to get this level's box gem, because the boxes required are all in this pathway, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And basically, these platforms, they return from Crash Bandicoot 1, although I didn't really show them off during my particular playthrough of Crash 1, because I didn't want to do that game 100%. Unlike Crash Bandicoot 1, Crash Bandicoot 2 is really manageable in the way that the gem collection is handled, so it's a lot easier and a lot more fun for me to just go on my way to try and do this. Because like I said in the previous part, in Crash Bandicoot 1, you needed to get all of the gems in a single go. Anyway, now that we're on the ramp thingy, of course touching these mines is a bad idea, I don't want to do that. But whenever we're on this jetboard thingy, whenever you come across ramps, if you press the circle button to boost, you will be able to boost up and collect things that are floating in the air, like all these crates, for example. And we're going to need to do that for the lives, the goodies, etc, etc. And this is a notoriously difficult game, ladies and gentlemen, just like the original Crash Bandicoot was. Although the difficulty has been toned down a notch, and it has a better balance in terms of difficulty, but it's just not so dickish in the way things are done. You know, the level design is just far superior to the original game, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And one thing I also haven't mentioned that we can do, which you've probably seen me do a couple of times because I completely forgot to go over this in my first part. If you press the circle button while jumping in the air, or the R1 button, which is my preference to use, you'll be able to do a body slam move, also new to this game. And there are certain types of crates and boxes later on down the line of this game where we need to use the body slam move to destroy. I'll talk more about it again when we reach those specific crates, but for now, they're just an easy way to clear out like entire columns of these things that are sort of stacked about. Now I have to ask, who is stacking all these crates and all these jungles and whatnot? Is it Cortex? I assume it's Cortex. But yeah, one thing I also appreciate about this game is, even though it's difficult in a lot of places, the game is very generous with lives, so you will always have a large number of lives to go through this game. Like right now, I have 21 lives, and I'm in the second part of the playthrough, you know, ladies and gentlemen. I can't remember if I actually hit 99 during the course of the playthrough, because I do die a lot. But in general, I find myself getting more lives than I lose when I'm playing this, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Also, every time you complete a level, Crash Bandicoot do this amazing dance. I don't know, I love this little dance routine he does. It's pretty cool. You can skip with the triangle button.
3 crystals. Not bad. I see you are getting the hang of it. I need to conserve power. I will communicate with you again after you retrieve the 5th crystal.
Righto, Cortex, you're the boss, and God, all this work is certainly the pits, isn't it? One thing I appreciate is the fact that every level in this game has a pun name. Every stage name is a pun, and I love that. Anyway, you'll find there's loads of different themes of levels we're going to come through as well throughout the course, including like the jungle level that we're seeing here. We're going to see an ice level. We've already been through one ice level already. The creek levels, which is the ones with the hoverboards. And there's usually, like, I think the general rule of thumb is there's three levels in a game of every type. You know, so we're on the second jungle level now, which basically I think leaves one major one left, you know, folks. And it's generally a good rule, you know, folks, because I don't know. But one thing I find really strange is, even though you'll notice that each of the warp rooms in the game are themed on a different thing. Like the first warp room is the jungle warp room, the second warp room is the ice warp room, etc, etc. The third one's the sewer. But even though they're themed, you don't see levels of that type all the time in those warp rooms, you know. It sort of goes on Mario 3D World and New Super Mario Bros. Logic, where you could be in a jungle, but suddenly ice level out of nowhere, you know, folks. Anyway, you might be wondering, why am I backtracking here, which is something I'm not a big fan of in Crash Bandicoot games, where you have to backtrack, because the camera's not suited for it. And you can't change the camera at all. But I'm backtracking by here because we need to go down the right path first to get to the halfway point, collect those crates, then go down to the left path because there's something that activates a bunch of boxes on the right path, so we can backtrack around the right path again to collect the boxes. Everything I just said probably sounds like complete gibberish to you, doesn't it? But trust me, it makes sense. Just go down halfway to the right path, go down the left path then, and see this metal crate here? These are switch crates. Whenever you boop them with an attack, well, something will happen in the level. Usually, crates that are transparent will become visible, and you're going to be able to collect them and move on. And we're going to see loads of mechanics later down the line that really utilizes this. And again, I have to say, I love the foliage in this game. Like, Naughty Dog is one thing I've noticed about a lot of their games. Naughty Dog love greenery in their games. I'm not complaining, because I think the color scheme and colors using green levels are really work. You know, they make the game pop. They're really popping colors, and it's just level themes that involve nature and stuff always seem to be pretty cool, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I'm just going back down here just to prove there's no extra crates to collect, just in case I missed some. You know, you can never be too careful playing this type of game, ladies and gentlemen. If you miss one crate, you gotta redo the entire level again. And you'll be surprised how deceptive it can be, you know. You'll be surprised how easy it is to miss a simple crate. Like, you could just run straight past it and not be paying attention if you go into autopilot mode, like I tend to do. If you wonder what I mean by autopilot mode, basically when I'm playing this game, my brain shuts off sometimes and I just go straight to the level, and then I realize at the end of the stage, oh shit, I meant to collect the crates, oh no, I created myself a problem. Anyway, that little metallic wooden crate hybrid there is what I was talking about when we need to use the body slam move on. There's going to be quite a few of them throughout the course of the game, so just be a bit careful. And get used to bouncing on crates, by the way. A lot of these bonus rooms are going to involve us bouncing on certain crates, especially these specific type of here, and these have a unique attribute to them. Whenever you see bouncy bounce crates like that one in particular, they have multiple bounces to them. Now, you have a limited amount of time to bounce on them, about 10 times I believe, in order to get 10 Wumpa Fruit. If you fail to, they will explode in the next bounce if you have a bit of a delay between each bounce. So you need to use that to your advantage in order to figure out what you're meant to do here. And yeah, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. What can I say? Anyway, whenever you get 100 Wumpa Fruit as well, which is basically the apple-looking things that you can see on the bottom right corner, and they're basically dotted throughout the entire game. Whenever you get 100 of them, you gain access to an extra life. An extra life is always fine and dandy, you know, because, well, you can never have too many lives, as video games have taught me in the past. You know, in recent ages, video game lives are kind of pointless, but... And I want to know, why does killing those vermin cause fungus to grow? That's kind of strange. Maybe they're eating away the roots so it can't grow. I don't know, it's quite peculiar. Yeah, but I digress. With that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the gem of the stage. And some stages will have multiple gems, some stages will only have one. You'll be able to tell what you can collect in each stage though, because if you look at the top right of each of these warp room things, you see little indentations, like the crystal one, and there's a gem one right by here. Basically, you can tell, oh, this one only has one gem, I only need to look out for the crates, and this one has like 2 gems, it must be a secret exit, etc, etc, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Like when we did the snow level in the previous part, I think it was the previous part, you saw a red gem. We can't get that red gem until later down the line, because there's a secret entrance later on that we need to access, and I don't know, I kind of like that, although... In this game, a lot of the secret exits in each of these stages are things you really wouldn't expect for the most part. And Naughty Dog do a good job of trying to cue you in that something's not quite what it seems by, like, maybe chucking fruit over a bottomless pit or something, or something to that effect, but I don't know. There's like one instance later on where we need to escape from a type of boulder. By the way, this is a level type as well. There's 3 of these in the game where you have to escape boulders and what have you. Is one of these levels going later down the line where we actually have to backtrack behind where the boulder's rolling from, and there's no real indication that we can do that, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't look like we can make a certain jump. I'll probably rant and rave about that when we get to it, because that really threw me off when I was younger, first playing this game for the first time, because it just spun me out. It's like, no, where have I got to go? I'm missing 1 gem. I've got 99% completed the game. What seems to be happening? Meh, meh, meh. So yeah. Anyway, as I said, there are hidden exits, and we won't be seeing a hidden exit until the next warp room, I believe, so I won't worry too much about that, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you can... The first warp room is really easy sailing. It's a straightforward level design, you know. And like I said, whenever you go to these bouncy bounce crates, bounce on them, it's usually 10 times as a safe number to bounce on them. And when you count up to number 10, it's usually wise to hold down the X button. Because if you're bouncing on an object, you know, like an enemy or a box, and you hold down the X button, you'll jump extra high on the bounce you're holding down the X button for, which is very, very, very useful, ladies and gentlemen, to use. It's something I really recommend you utilize, especially when doing these sort of tricksy maneuvers, because I don't know, I always get really nervous whenever I'm bouncing on these bouncy bounce crates, because I just keep getting the feeling like, oh no, I'm gonna miscount, aren't I? I'm gonna miscount. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not good at math. I am not a mathematician, okay? I cannot math at all. Like, it would be shocking if you saw me do math, because one time I was actually in, I went to, like, the local spa, which is the name of the corner shop, not long ago, ladies and gentlemen, and basically I was counting the change. I was like, okay, so this is going to cost me, like, 59p. For the love of God, I had a couple of coins. I couldn't figure it out. I had to give the coins to my friend to go, hey, do this for me, I can't math. Yeah. See, I might be good at certain things, but math is not one of them, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy, it is not one of them. But yeah, needless to say, if you're not careful, you will get killed by this boulder, and it's pretty morbid. One kind of thing I love about the Crash series is you get unique death animations for dying specific ways. Like if you die down a pit, sometimes you get a specific animation, like his shoes will come flying back up or something. Or if you get electrocuted, obviously you'll see Crash's skeletons, and I don't know, I love that attention to detail. I love it when games have unique death animations depending on how you die. Anyway, for the most part, you don't need to worry about collecting a lot of these crates as you get chased by the boulder, because the boulder will handle a lot of them. But those specific crates there that are behind the electric force fields, you're going to want to manually destroy. because the boulder will just fly past them and go, "Hey, you want me to destroy those crates for you? Screw you!" And it could easily screw you out of getting a gem. What can I say? A good way to check see if the boulder's destroying things is to press the triangle button, because that causes the HUD to load up at the top of the screen. So you can sort of use that as like a total indicator to see, okay, I got X items, and the game doesn't tell you the total boxes, which is quite strange.
Listen up. We are not without enemies. Some of them you may even recognize. Although they cannot harm you inside this warp room, they can attack you on your way to the next one. To get to the next warp room, use the platform that appears in the center of the room. Good luck.
Right, to clarify what I was just saying, the totals don't tell you the total amount of boxes that are in each level, you know, folks. The amount, like in Crash Bandicoot 3, you can say it says 0 out of 100 boxes, for example. This game doesn't do that, it just tells you the amount of boxes you have at certain times. So you can only really use it to see if things are being broken properly, that's all. Anyway, it's time for the very first boss fight, and the center of that warp room, just go into the center and press the D-pad up and you'll fly into this boss arena. And this here is Ripperoo, who's gotten a lot more intelligence since the last game, but he's still a bit of a loony. He's one of those crazy university professors you see every now and then now. And basically, all you need to do, wait for him to bounce all the nitro crates and boop him. Obviously, easiest boss in the game is going to be the first boss. It should be easy. So I wouldn't worry too much about his pattern. It's a beginner thing, you know. You'll be able to figure this out your first time, hopefully. I do kind of like how there's loads of math equations at the bottom of the floor, though, where Ripperoo's logo is. I don't know. There's loads of character to this game. I love it. Anyway, in terms of hurting him, all you can really do is spin him. I think you can slide into him as well, and that will do damage, but don't quote me on that. And of course, needless to say, go near the explosions will hurt, don't go near them. And whenever he puts nitro crates down on the floor, don't walk into the nitro crates. For God's sake, do not walk into the nitro crates. That will spell instant doom for you. Unless you have an Aku Aku mask, in that case it won't spell instant doom, but... yeah, I digress. And Ripperoo pal with a doctorate is now down and out. Fantastic, allowing us to go to the next glorious warp room of the game. Oh my. That's generally the rule of thumb, though. You'll find that I'll keep going to new warp rooms every 2 parts, I believe, so... yay! Progress!
I see that Ripperoo failed to prove much of a challenge yet again. But back to business. There are crystals to be gathered, 20 to be exact. The planets will align shortly, all 13 of them, and this will create a power great enough to rip the Earth apart. Properly utilized, however, the crystals can absorb and contain the energy.
Crash, is that you? I've been looking everywhere. I don't have much time to tell you this. You have to be careful. Trusting Cortex seems a little unwise. Crash, I can't keep the data path open much longer. Crash, you need...
I'm pretty sure trusting Cortex will be perfectly fine. He did create us, after all. And if anyone's wondering and didn't play or watch my LP of the first game, or see anything of the first game, yeah, Crash Bandicoot is created by Neo Cortex. The main villain of this game created Crash, so, yeah, that's quite interesting. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this part, so thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoy. Don't be sheepish, people. And when we return next time, we'll start progressing on with the rest of the second warp room. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, and I'll catch you all then. Bye!